I'm Olivia Peck, and today I want to talk to you about vocal control. This is something that comes up a lot with all sorts of students of mine of all ages. They just really want to know how they can control their sound, and that is a very normal thing for people to question, especially since you feel like you should be able to control it. I mean, it's your voice, it's your body. It's not quite so easy. You still have to train your muscles and your body to sing. And it's not something that's second nature because we don't sing all the time. We talk all the time maybe, but we don't sing all the time. And they're two different things. The reason why people should learn vocal control to a certain extent is because it'll give you confidence. By control, I mean knowing how to execute the sound that you want on the pitch you want. It doesn't mean that if you are a 7-foot tall man that you can control your voice so much that you can sound like Thumbelina. That might be a little cray-cray. I'm not saying it's not possible, but working with what you have, the gift that you have, and making it sound as crisp and glorious as you can. That's what I mean by control. Controlling your sound in that part of your range or with the style of song it is, that kind of level of control. It's not micromanaging the sound, but having some sort of control over your sound. And of course there's a limit to what that means. So when we talk about control, it's oftentimes tied to your breath control. So your breath is the most important part of singing, and if you're really engaged with your breath, staying on your voice and on your breath, then that's a level of control that you have, being able to contract your muscles down here and keep them engaged until you reach the end of the phrase. Learning breath control is essentially learning vocal control. Your breath controls how fast your vocal folds are vibrating. So that's why learning different breath exercises for singing is super beneficial. Doing warm-ups like lip trills is one I recommend to everyone. Even just learning how to do a lip trill in general is going to teach you a basic sense of breath control and can take you even far beyond basic breath control, because it's not easy to lip trill, and if you really commit to doing boring lip trills all the time, you might be surprised at the level in which you're able to manipulate your sound. It frees up all these muscles so that the only thing you're focusing on is your breath. And it's not about how much breath you're using necessarily, but how you use your breath throughout your range. So if you're down here, what are you doing with your breath? How much are you pushing from your abdominal muscles? And how fast is that air traveling through you, through your relaxed tube you've got going on here? And then we get into this middle range. What did you have to do to make sure that note was spinning nicely and evenly in the vibrato? Or up here. What did you have to do to get that sound out? So going through your range and noticing what your breath has to do to get the sound out. Now, there are two things at play here, not just your breath when you're talking about vocal control. You're also talking about placement. Placement is something that makes people sound different depending on their placement. So it can make people sound like this. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. always a perfect or right way to place your voice, but there are maybe better choices than others when it comes to style or how you want yourself to sound, or even parts of your range the song is in, the emotion you're trying to emote to the audience. There's a lot of things at play there. Placement means, to me, where in your body is this vibration happening, in your face, or what we call the mask, and in your whole body. So that's why I think we call it the head voice, because the vibration, we're picturing it being up here, in the head, and then the chest, it's here, and then your mixed voice is in your nose and mask cavities. Now I'm making up words, but it's the understanding that's important. Traveling from low to high. Oh. What is happening? I'm starting here. Oh. And I make the switch. Oh. And I switch again. Oh. And if you heard a little break in there, that's very normal. That means that's where there's a little switch happening in your placement, and it takes practice to learn how to smooth that stuff out. And sometimes you'll have a song where it's in the part of your range where there's a break, and so learning placement is a whole nother part of vocal control. So doing woo slides are one way to figure out what your voice does in that certain part of your range. So as I was saying, you have 3 parts of your range. You have your chest voice, your middle voice, and your high voice. Your high voice, also called falsetto, your middle range, also called your mixed voice. A lot of the time you can just call it that, and your chest voice, or your belt, is another term. Exercises for your low voice would be saying words like ha, hey, oh, and feeling the vibration in your chest and making sure it sounds unrestricted, it sounds free, it sounds a little bit airy. A good exercise for your middle range is doing really nasally stuff, because it helps you get through that break that you have. We call it the passaggio between your low and your middle range, or even your upper range. It's a wonky place for a lot of people because they're not sure if they want to sing in their chest voice or their head voice or their mixed voice. And so if you struggle with that, a very good exercise for you is doing neary, 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 near, and doing things really nasally, really nasally. Sing the song in a nasal tone if it's right in your middle range, and it'll help you fine tune a little bit and find the placement for your voice, perhaps. For your higher range, it's all about relaxing and using your abdominals to drop the jaw and sing oh, is what one of my voice teachers said. Just know that there's no way to sing in your high range without letting go of your chest voice. I was just talking about this with someone, but song mapping is a really great thing. Just like when you pick up a book to read, Dear Diary. If you have a general understanding of the notes, just where that pitch is. I'm looking right here. I know this song starts on a B flat, and I know it sounds like this. Okay, I know that's a pretty low part of my range. This song starts in a low part of my range. Going through the song and going, okay, I just got this song, and I'm looking at it, and I notice that it's pretty much in my low to middle range the entire song. It doesn't even really get into my high voice. And so that makes me think about how my breath is going to be working, where my placement is, and I already know the challenges I'm going to have. And I already know I'm going to have to tell myself not to push so much and to relax more, and just certain things that I always tell myself when I'm stuck in my middle range and I'm running into issues. But everybody's voice is different, and this is the kind of thing that gets really tedious and very specific to each person because everyone has a different voice, and there's all sorts of other things to work on, like your tongue and your jaw tension and other tension you have in your body. And it really would benefit you to get a second opinion, even if that second opinion right now is you listening to a recording of yourself and going, this particular part is challenging for me and I don't know why. Ask yourself, is it the range? Is it the vowel? Is it the word? What is it? And working on those small steps instead of going, the song is terrible because of just one part that's really giving you trouble. A teacher can really help you and tell you what exactly you should be focusing on and what can expedite. A teacher can help you accelerate that process. That's what I'll say about that. Thank you for watching. I hope it helps. Send me any questions, and if you want to work with me, give me a call, send me a text. Have a great day. You can also check me out on my new podcast, Help, I'm Creative. It's really fun. It's for any type of creative, and I talk about the trials and tribulations of being a voice teacher and actress, and talk to other actors and singers and dancers and makers and all sorts of things. And it's fun, and I hope you'll join us. We're on Spotify, Breaker, and Radio Public. So check us out. I'm creative.